Hey people, Indrid here, 3v3, Greysark under City, blue team. It's the legend, Noisy, as a Warboss, a melee hero, walking through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines, alongside a couple of Farseers, Jamboo, with the Oathway DLC scheme, and Thentox, rocking the Exodites elite scheme. These are melee support heroes with strong buffs and control. Red team, Burning, is a plague champion, starts off with a damage over time bolt gun, can get melee weapons, some strong utility, and support can also repair. Alongside Grimm as a Daemonhunter, a melee spellcaster of strong control and debuffs. And rounding off the teams, AngryMetalGuy as a Techmarine, starts off with a bolt gun, puts out some good damage, can also support with his structures and repair. They are southwest, up against the Farseer of Thentox. Usually you see 2v2 fights in the mid on Greysark. Looks like Red are taking a commanding position here. Howling Banshees up for Jamboo. That's Guide thrown on those Guardians. Starting buff for the Farseer, giving extra range and extra damage. Might see a nasty flank from Thentox. Found some isolated scouts here. They were going for the cap. Guide thrown on these Guardians now. We do have some late Banshees coming out for Thentox. Well, not late, but they weren't the first purchase. Up in the northeast though, Heretics running away. Plague Champion busy capping and shooting the Warboss. Warboss in turn is chasing some CSM, who are also chasing the shooter boys in melee. The sluggers are already off the field. They probably had a big old fight with those Heretics. Nice special attack there from the Warboss. Hit all three models, I think. Can they get a model of them? They cannot. Warboss will now angrily stomp towards the VP. Maybe he can cap it. It's only the Plague Champion there. Warboss can tie him up, and the shooter boys can cap. Maybe Banshee's getting through from Jamboo. Ran into some Heretics though, and some more Chaos Space Marines here for Burning. They've gone double CSM. Meanwhile in the mid, Farseer runs off. That is also Jamboo. They've got a Guardian weapon team on the field. So does Thentox. On the way, a Guardian weapon team. Here's the Howling Banshees of them. Strike squad up here for Grimm. AngryMetalGuy single tacks at the moment. Have upgraded his scouts with a shotgun. No, not with shotgun. With a sergeant. No shotguns yet. Techmarine gets himself a master crafted bolter. Great tool to have against these Howling Banshees. With the high powered shot doing a big burst of damage and suppressing. Used it on the Guardians there. Took a model, looks like. Doesn't want to push in though. Surprised they used it on those Guardians. Maybe they haven't seen Thentox's Howling Banshees yet. Daemonhunter. Looks like he's thinking about going northeast. No, coming back to the mid. Strike squad do have their Tomes of Titan. Interceptors on the way now for Grimm. Aggressive push by the blue team. I'm not sure why the red team are backing off here. They have all their stuff ready to go. Grimm waiting for his interceptors maybe. High-powered shot might be off cooldown now. There's the Guardian weapon team. And there's one with Guide thrown on it. Look at a massive firing up now. There's high-powered shot. Yeah, you don't want to give Eldar time to push up like that and set their shuriken cannons up. I'm going to try and catch setup teams while the army's moving if you can. Obviously not give them time to push up and set up. Sluggers have their burners. Noisy's pushed towards the power. Maybe this is why Grimm was backing off like this. Maybe they saw that Noisy was pushing across the top and they wanted to be ready to defend the power. I wasn't really watching the minimap there. Here's your interceptors. Teleporting infantry that disrupt when they teleport these days. Which is a big deal. Daemonhunter's got some stuff. Armor of Fortitude, more health regen, and Indomitable. You have Liber Malleus as well. Alright, this is the Sundering thing. Giving unit 20% damage resistance while cursing foes damaged in melee by the squad to take more melee damage. Okay. That's changed since the last update, I think. I think they changed it in the last one. I don't think I've seen it since they've changed it. I think that used to be something that was cast on himself. Now it looks like you can cast it on anything. Basically something you want to use before your unit gets into melee, maybe with some Howling Banshees, eh? High-powered shot coming. There it is on the Banshees. Devastator's able to set up there. And they may not have been able to if the high-powered shot didn't come out. Meanwhile, towards the northeast, Farseer runs away. Interceptor's doing some decent work, it seems. Got a little bit of XP. Howling Banshees run. Aspect of fleetness. What about Thentox's aspect of strength here? Got some operatives up now for Grimm. Getting their fallback plan immediately, which allows them to break their retreats and also gives them an incendiary grenade, I believe. Yes. Interceptors doing that teleporting. Warboss goes charging after them. What did he get knocked back by there? Interceptors are buffed up. Is that Sundering then? I guess that's what Sundering looks like. It looks like Mind Blades then, doesn't it? Interceptors knocked back. Warboss runs. Got spiky armor. And of course the angry bits. We saw him charging in before there. Well played, Jamboo. Gets here in time to cover this. As the Warboss is off the field. They still have double shooters in play though. Noisy. Nice special there on the Plague Champion. Howling Banshees coming in. Plague Champion gets into melee. Grenade. That was the incendiary grenade there from the operatives. Shuriken runs away. Banshee's now threatening... Oh, the Plague Champion went down. They were threatening the CSM there. There's a bunch of dead heretics. That might have been a stomp or something from the Warboss, or maybe a grenade from Jamboo. Players starting to think about their tier 2s. Burning already in tier 2. They only had double CSM up. And it seems with the Warboss stomping around and the upgraded sluggers, they were able to deal with the heretics and the double CSM quite easily. Noisy. Bit of a risk for Burning to go straight to tier 2 like this, but maybe they can come out swinging with a Blood Crusher or something. There's some Nurgle worship. Sluggers getting in on the interceptors, counter-initiating. Shooters need to run though. Double shooters took tons of damage there actually. There's Sundering again. Gives them that red effect. That's pretty cool, actually. Farseer has Armor of Fortune and the Runes of Reaping. Noisy with a Death Tread on the way. Burning did not get anything up in tier 2. Are they going straight to tier 3 here? I wonder. That's something I think you should call out to your allies if you're skipping tier 2 going straight to tier 3, because then your allies need to perhaps pick up some slack and go heavy tier 2. It is a viable strategy. Jamboo says they're getting a Falcon. Thentox hitting tier 2 momentarily. Has some late tier 1 rangers out here with their long rifles in play. Taking good shots on the Devastators. A Librarian comes out for AngryMetalGuy. Good melee fighter in amongst those Banshees, but did not want to stick around. Attacks need to run. There we go. Could have stuck around for a few more swings of that sword, I think, the Librarian. I wonder if AngryMetalGuy meant to retreat those tactical marines right then. Up in the northeast, the power turns red. That's contested. It does have a gen on it, but no node at the moment. Interceptors get their Justicar. There's that Death Tread. Doesn't have burners and bits at the moment. Burning just purchased a bunch of stuff, including Plague Marines. They could have gone tier 3. It seems like the presence of the Death Tread has persuaded them to get some tier 2 going on in the form of Plague Marines at the start here. Grimm has a Vindicare Assassin. Turbo Penetrator rounds loaded in. This is a Sniper Sub-Commander. Big burst damage from long range. Getting some good shots on the Death Tread here. Oh, got one shot. Now backs off. Should get another. There we go. And that was a crack grenade or something going in from the operatives. I think their sergeant gives them a crack grenade or a melter bomb, whatever they call it. Should be able to get the Death Tread down here, I think. Yep, Vindicare gets it done. And there's Psychic Assailment. Global ability of the Daemonhunter. Great tool to have to throw on your Vindicare Assassin. It's kind of like Guide, actually. Gives you 30% more range and 30% more damage, I believe. And the Falcon did not last long. That was like 2 or 3 shots from the Vindicare. I'm sure the Plague Marines helped out a bit too. But that's 2 vehicles dealt with quite quickly. They are getting their power completely bashed though. Warboss going for a revive here on Jamboo. Gets it. Vindicator Assassin is now switched to Exodus rounds, which are anti-infantry. Interceptors doing some good disruption there. Sluggers to counter-initiate. They have their Nob Leader, and he's a mean old fellow, that Nob Leader. 60 DPS, power melee, chunky hit points. Like 350 hit points, I think, that fella. They are dealt with, though. Heretics had to run. CSM had to run. They can recap their power. And they do have decent armies, the red team, but can they stabilize? Burning being kind of light for a while there in their army meant that they were under a lot of pressure. Shuriken goes down, chased off and taken out by the interceptors back down in the southwest. What is this? It's Tactical Marines fast capping blue team's natural, but blue team also took red team's natural here. Bit of an awkward retreat through a Shuriken. Farseer gets some pokes. Any war gear for you? No war gear for Thentox. No levels either. Jamboo is level 2, now has Gravity Blade to counter the interceptors that teleport in, I suppose. And a Weird Boy is up for Noisy. Sub-commander for Orks. Very good at dealing with the groups of infantry, has some powerful support too. And already has the Warp Head for the Foot of Gork. And that can be nasty for Plague Marines because they're so slow to move and turn. They can struggle to dodge that big old foot. The Warboss now ready to roll with a Power Claw, just charging into a group of Ordo Malleus troops up there. Here's some Wraith Guard for Jamboo. Looks like Guide has been thrown on them, maybe. Those Wraith Cannons will crack anything. Can also suppress infantry with those weapons. Need to be careful of friendly fire, though, so these sluggers might get hit. Plague Marines exploding on death there, knocking back and damaging those sluggers. What happened to the Warboss? Oh, the Warboss went down. Bravely charged in and got taken out. And here we see... Is it Psychic Fortress? I always forget the name of this thing. Pretty good, though. You chuck it on a unit, and it gives them a bunch of energy regen, I think. And they also slow down nearby enemies. It's quite powerful. Great thing to throw on your interceptors, eh? Because they are very energy dependent. And if they can slow down the stuff that they're smacking, that's pretty good too. Force Glaive is up for Daemonhunter, giving the Inferno. You trigger it, and a few seconds later, you get some area of effect damage around the Daemonhunter. Some nice, easy to use disruption, and it's also a pretty bloody good power weapon in its own right. Over 70 DPS there. Vindicator Assassin getting very close to the Farseer, but also able to get away. Grimm down to 3 units now. Lost the operatives and lost the stormtroopers in that big brouhaha. Level 3 Warboss down. Almost level 4. What's going on? Southwest. We got a Falcon? No, we don't. We have a Fire Prism for Thentox. There's tier 3 for Jamboo. Tier 3 for AngryMetalGuy. Burning already there. But again, quite slow to get going, eh? It can really slow down your requisition economy if you have double CSM and you're losing a lot of heretics. But they don't have an aspiring champion on these guys. And I don't think they've lost that many models. They've just been a little bit slow making decisions, maybe. They could get a tank right now. They aren't doing it. I guess they want a big super unit now. I mean, they are on the front foot in the northeast, so no need to rush a unit out, I don't think. Double CSM getting assaulted. I wondered if they were going to try... In that situation, it might have been worth chucking those 2 CSM into melee with the sluggers and be ready on the trigger to use Touch of Nurgle. Oh, they just used their red to get Terminator, so maybe that's why they didn't do that. Chaos Terminator is having to teleport away these guys with Combi Bolters and Power Fists, and the passive ability to demoralize targets when they kill them, which means that they take more damage and deal less damage. It's quite powerful, so it does help if you can target something relatively weak and get some kills, much like Loyalist Terminators, although those guys inspire. Meanwhile, down in the south, we might see a destroyed Guardian weapon team here. Librarian with inspiration on kill gets the kill. Mark target now from the Techmarine with the Signum armor. A las cannon trying to get shots on the Fire Prism, but I think it's too far away. Grenade. Oh, they retreated right into it, but they're okay. Got some Stern Guard veterans using their acidic Hellfire rounds to combat this light infantry, doing damage over time. Don't get it if you're in melee, of course. Taking a bunch of damage though, needing to run. Took the Farseer a while to get into melee. They're not sure what was going on. But they are going to grab the VP. Well done, that Farseer. Meanwhile, up in the northeast, Warboss back to his feet. Going to get level 4 soon, I think. Orks jumping in, well, dropping in. Dropped in by Jamboo. Comes in with those stunning plasma grenades, providing area of effect, damage resistance aura, and some good support, like that little leap there that heals stuff and gives a damage bonus. Also have a Seer Council, which themselves have a damage resistance aura, but it's only range damage. I think the Thentox is all damage, so those things should be stacking together and helping out those Banshees quite a lot, and the Seer Council themselves. Techmarines, you going to be alright, fellas? I think they're alright. Oh, Chaos Terminus have got Lightning Claws. Noise is down to 2 units, but they are in tier 3 with huge amounts of income. Now that might be more dangerous than Noisy having a big tier 1 and tier 2 army here. Because now they can chuck out commandos and knobs and battle wagons quite quickly, perhaps. Las Cannon bashes the node. Scouts will try and grab it. Librarian thinking about... Oh, they got the Fire Prism. Probably it was Veil of Time and the Las Cannon. Maybe some Vengeance rounds thrown in. They got their VP back and killed the Fire Prism. Oh, Thentox has got another one, though, which goes through the husk of the other. The wreck of it. Warboss does get level 4, runs away. What you got there, Farseer? Oh, the Gravity Blade still. Anything for Thentox? Still no war gear for this Farseer. And still not much XP, so perhaps AngryMetalGuy hasn't been bleeding that much. They've been getting out of the fights relatively clean. Although they have been under quite a lot of pressure, I think. Librarian getting stuck in was a good choice for Thentox. Kind of gives you something to stand and fight the Banshees with. It is a risky fight for the Librarian, but if you can try and focus the Banshees down with the Librarian in there, maybe getting some special attacks and stuff, it really helps out. Grenade. Stern Guard take it. Trying to get those Hellfire shots in, but they have to run. Are they going to node this? Farseer wants to steal it. Up in the northeast, red team are taking that contested victory point. There's a webway up there for the blue team. If they get into it, they should know it's there now, I suppose, burning. Battle wagon on the way for Noisy. Jamboo with an avatar on the way. Oh, hey, we got some Crusaders for Grimm. Unique unit for the Daemonhunter. Needs to call them in from his global bar, and they have their Acolyte warrior leader there. With a two-handed chainsword. Is it called an eviscerator? Yeah, I think so. And he's got some good buffs for them, that fella. Stick bombs. No. Cancels that. Goes for a knob squad. Does Noisy. That's going to be incredibly powerful now. Gonna have Banshees and a knob squad. Supported by Orks aura. Seer Council aura. And the Avatar aura. Not to mention, of course, all of the buffs that the Farseer and the Warboss can throw out. Lightning Claw Chaos Terminators are a massive threat, though, to basically all infantry. That was a strange time for the Farseer to use Levitation Field. Maybe they hit the wrong hotkey there. Lots of demoralization. Chaos Terminator is getting some good killing done here. Daemonhunter getting stuck into with that glaive. What have they got now? Banishing Cloak, Rites of Exorcism, which is a big debuff for enemy vehicles. Useful against this battle wagon here. Battle wagon did some decent work though. Avatar is now up. Here it is. Super unit for Eldar, providing some really powerful area of effect buffs, suppression immunity, damage resistance, and the damage bonus, I believe. And it's a powerful combatant as well. Meanwhile, is that a, yeah, Venerable Dreadnought, although I'm not sure how long this thing's going to last. Fire Prism is getting shots here. Trying to get away. Kills the Farseer. Still hasn't gone down. Fire Prism. Oh, Fire Prism gets the hit though. I wonder if Blessing of the Omnissiah would have saved it there, or maybe just the Techmarine running over and trying to repair. I guess he was busy shooting stuff though. Venerable Dreadnought does fall. Another Fire Prism on the way for Thentox. Back in the northeast. Vortimer Razorback for Grimm. Another Vindicare Assassin, it looks like, with Psychic Assailment on it already. Getting so turbo penetrate around shots on the battle wagon, and there's a Nob squad with Ard Boys and their hammers and their Nob leader. With Avatar support, Autarch support. I'm not sure where the Seer Council are. They're moving up. How do you stop this melee army? It's a nasty melee army to try and stop. Burning with the Land Raider Phobos. Not sure. Well, I guess it will shoot down the battle wagon pretty well, but it's going to have massive threats from the Warboss and the Wraith Guard and the Nob squad. Dirgecast is pretty great. And they do still have the Chaos Terminator with the claws as well. Plague Champion is down. Plague Champion could be doing quite a lot of work here, I think, with Bilious Discharge and that kind of thing from the Bile Spewer, maybe. But I'd need to repurchase for that. Grimm getting some Stormtroopers up to help repair stuff, as you can see there. Burning doesn't have Heretics anymore. Here comes some Marco Zinch Chaos Space Marines. There's already some in play. Level 2 and Level 3. Don't have their aspiring champions, but they should be pumping out some really good damage. Anti-infantry damage here, especially to the Nob squad. Because the Nob squad is heavy infantry and they'll take extra. They ran off there. Double Fire Prisms down in the southwest. Is that going to prompt a Melter Gun? It does prompt the Melter Gun. Got the Las Cannon, of course, and these guys can switch to Vengeance rounds. Stern Guard can switch their ammo types. Kicking off northeast. Phobos getting way too far forward here. Way too far forward. It's only got 2,000 hit points, which isn't that much for a big old slow Land Raider. I think the Redeemer has over 3,000, doesn't it? Not sure about the Crusader, but I think it's more than the Phobos. I don't know why the Phobos has so little. Maybe because it's got longer range weapons. 371 to 148 on the VPs. More Stormtroopers for Grimm to help repair stuff. That's going to be handy. Gravity Blade for the Terminators. They might need to run. They can't retreat. They teleport out of it. One of them gets away. Are they going to be chased? Warboss is giving chase there. Crusaders also flee. Looks like the Terminator will make it away. That red debuff circle is because the Warboss is close to the Plague Marines. They're so very smelly that they slow you down if you get close to them. Warboss trying to charge after the Vortimer there. Level 5. Helped out. Quick thinking by the Daemonhunter, throwing out the Rift Tear there. Starting ability that slows down stuff in a radius. 324 to 147. Orks in retreat. Can they bounce back here, the red team? Phobos needs huge amounts of repair. Plague Champion still down. Southwest is looking very blue. They have the power. Have the contested wreck point as well. Now we are actually seeing some stick bombers for Noisy. I mean, we're up against quite large infantry armies. Stick bombers are quite good at that. Oh hey, Thentox has some stuff. Doombringer, Armor of Asurian, and Runes of Reaping. Oh, is that what we saw? Was that Armor of Asurian there? With the time field? Maybe that's what it was. Seemed to slow down the Warboss though, more than the Vortimer. Did we get the Phobos, says Noisy. Nope, it's still alive. Interceptors with Psychic Assailment and their Psy Cannons. Nicely done. Making short work of that Fire Prison. They've used Psychic Assailment very well so far, Grimm. A lot of players kind of forget about their globals, you know? They just think, can I drop a nuke and stuff? Don't use the others. Sluggers level 4. Throwing up a war banner. There it is. That will provide a constant buff. And you can activate it for a long-lasting buff. It's a minor buff, but it lasts a while. Daemonhunter going for Armor of Damnation. So your council still level 1. There's the time field. Oh, Jamboo has it as well. Yeah, it probably was the time field that we saw earlier. I thought it was the Rift Tear. Nob squad fighting some Crusaders. And there's the Psychic Fortress again. Orks getting some shots with a fusion gun. Gravity Blade messes with the Crusaders and with the Chaos Terminators. It's doing a lot of work, that levitation field. Avatar with a Wailing Doom. Looks like it's going to be dodged. Oh, not by those guys though. Retreated right into it. And it whacked one of those CSM. Double cap for the blue team now. Down in the southwest. Thentox with the 2 fire prisms still. The Warboss has been repaired. Not sure it's done that much though, this thing. It got rushed down when it went a bit too far forward. Burning has no requisition to purchase anything, but does have a Plague Champion back, although they have no war gear and no requisition to really purchase any. Those Farseer abilities are nasty, says Noisy. Techmarine. Is that retreat? I think that's retreat and we've just lost the indicator. No, it isn't. They're speeding around. I guess it was Veil of Time. Level 2 Farseer here. Can the Techmarine finish the cap? Kicking off again in the northeast. That is the Tempest. Phobos coming in from the south. Getting a bunch of tank buster shots though. What is it doing? I guess it was just a desperation move. They've run out of VPs. And the blue team take it. I was not paying attention to the VPs myself there. We had a level 6 Warboss for Noisy. Just huddling at base there with his knobs. Farseer level 6 as well. Thentox was down at the end. Level 2. Burning's Plague Champion level 3. No war gear for this poor fella. Grimm's Daemonhunter level 5. Switching back to Banishing Cloak at the end. Because of that Fire Prism maybe. And a level 6 Techmarine for AngryMetalGuy. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this cast, and I'll see you next time.